And we're live now. So what do we watch? Cliffhanger?
All right, I can summer of action movies.
Yes, our summer of action movies.
Of course, as soon as we start, the internet starts doing stupid shit.
Of course.
It's just gonna be that way until I can get Elon Musk's space internet. This is what I have.
That's what we all hope to achieve for that space internet.
Yeah, that's all I want.
Yep.
Can I just, Elon? Can I just do anything I can for you to help you along to give me some space internet?
Yeah, we may review his favorite movie if he does that. Just saying.
Do you know what his favorite movie is?
I hope it's
Cliffhanger.
It better be Cliffhanger because that's what's going on tonight.
So you picked this movie. Have you seen this movie recently?
Before
we watched it?
Before we watched it, no. Last time I watched that movie was like years and years ago. And then when I went back to rewatch this, I still don't get the issue with the money thing. Why they were moving it from one place to another? What was the deal with that?
Oh yeah, yeah. I thought it was kind of dumb. It's like, we need this money for like these international banks overseas. We can't transfer money electronically. We've got to fly $1,000 bills across the globe in this super secret unhijackable airplane.
Yeah. I had found out too the mint that they use to transfer their money out. They don't do dollar bills at all. They only do coins at that mint. So I thought that was kind of cool.
Plot holes everywhere.
Plot holes. And then the beginning of the movie is like the main thing that I remembered from a kid was okay. Well, I guess Cliffhanger is Sylvester Stallone. In case you people don't know, he is back in another action-packed movie, and he's like rock climber / rescue ranger. I guess that's what he is.
Yeah.
So he goes out.
Yeah, he's like,
huh?
Super climber.
Yeah, he's super.
Yeah, it's like super climber.
He just climbs these mountains like it's just a walk in the woods. No issues whatsoever.
No ropes.
No ropes, nothing. He's just got
no ropes, cracking jokes.
Yep.
Hanging upside down.
Yeah. Oh, I'm on my way up there. And the helicopter's already there, but let Sylvester Stallone get his climb in.
Yeah.
And he's
the beginning of this.
Yeah, the beginning. He goes up to save like two people. One of them is his friend, and who's Michael Rooker. He was the blue guy from Guardians of the Galaxy, and from Walking Dead. I guess he bummed his knee out, and he brought this girl up rock climbing with him. So they were going up there to rescue him and that dude's girlfriend,
who's a newbie climber,
yes.
And they're on. It looks like the most insane thing I've ever seen. It's terrifying.
The excuse was, this is better than sex. Rock climbing this giant ass mountain that takes, I would assume weeks, or a week. I don't know. That just looked ridiculous.
Well, no, Stallone. I mean, supposedly Stallone climbed it that day, right? So it's supposed to be a day. It's supposed to be one day, but no, like stuff like that. I mean, people sleep. Like there are climbs like that days and days, and they like sleep on these little platforms and shit, and it's fucking terrifying to me. I like some basic safe rock climbing. I mean,
Man, the internet.
So yeah, they get up there and they have this like plan. It was like, it's like high winds, so we can't just pick you up from like have just a line go down and winch you up. No, we have to land on the opposite side on another hill,
further the way than what they were,
and have a line go across.
Yes.
Yeah. They've got a wire going across, like he pounds in the like anchor on the one side, and Michael Rooker goes across first. He's fine, and then they send over the girl, and she's really terrified. And
It's like,
she gets halfway across,
and that belt snaps. And Tavy was watching this with me too, which later on, like every time Sylvester Stallone has somebody's hand, they're wearing gloves and they're always slipping. And she was like, "Why are people wearing gloves when they're rock climbing?"
Yeah, right. Yeah.
So yeah, that belt
Big,
breaks.
fat, slippery gloves.
That belt breaks on the girl.
She's dangling by like one little piece.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Sylvester Stallone's like, "I'm gonna go out there," and Michael Rooker's like, "No, I'm gonna do it." And then the old man that's flying the copter's like, "It's not made for two people. Don't get on it." And then they're just holding up. He gets out to her, and they're just hanging, and she slips and falls and dies.
Well, yeah, he catches her. He catches her by the hand as she's about as her thing breaks.
Yeah.
And then he's like, "Reach up to me, reach up, please reach up and grab it." And she's like, "I can't." And then her hand slips out of the glove. And so this is the second week in a row that we've had a scene that has been spoofed in another movie. Do you know this? Do you know the movie where this scene was spoofed?
Is it Hot Shots Part 2?
No, it's not that. That was last week.
Oh.
Yeah, that was last. Yeah. So this scene was the beginning of Ace Ventura: Pet Detective.
Yes.
Part 2.
Yes.
When Nature Calls.
Yes.
The beginning of that movie, he's saving a raccoon that's out dangling from the wire, and he manages to get it by its little raccoon paw, and then it slips out, and that's where he sort of loses his passion to be a pet detective. Runs off to be a monk or whatever he does in the mountains.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what happens to Stallone. He loses his joy of climbing. He runs away for a year.
A year.
He gets away from climbing. He just can't do it anymore.
So was he married to that girl? The short-haired girl one? Because like he comes back after. You can't hear me? What? It's still coming through. Hang on.
Got nothing.
Oh, hang on. Here we go. I don't know why Google Hangouts just automatically muted. Okay. But was he married to that girl after he comes back from a year? He's like, "I'm here."
No, they said earlier on when they were joking around on the radio, he said girlfriend. So.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I had noticed a ring finger, like a wedding band on his hand. So, and then later he didn't have it. That's why I thought they were married.
Oh.
But
no, I didn't notice that.
Okay. It's like, are you just gonna disappear for a year, and she's okay with talking to you?
Yeah, and they did sort of say our house, so they were,
they were together raising horses.
Yeah, horses in the wilderness.
Yeah.
So this starts, and then now we've got this scene where we were talking about at the Mint. They're transporting this money on these unhijackable, super safe planes.
Yeah.
And then of course we got an inside job. You've got the bald guy with the mustache that plays the same cop in like a dozen movies.
Yes.
Talks like a Texan kind of
Texan dude. Yeah. I mean, he's the only one that can track these packages of money.
So it's $100 million that they've got on this plane.
Yeah.
And so then as they're flying out, they're passing over where Stallone is they do all their climbing, whatever fucking mountains those are.
Yeah.
And they've got another plane that starts tracking with them, and on that plane it's basically a heist. So the guy on the inside, he's got a couple guys in league with him, the pilot, and they basically kill the other guys. Mm-hmm. And they blow open the back of the thing, and they attach a wire to the airplane, and
I mean, they could have done that just fine with a wire to another plane in high winds. They did just fine. Why couldn't the helicopter?
Girl just had a shitty harness. Yeah, I don't know. But so they get Yeah, so like the bald Texan guy, he with the mustache, he gets across to the plane, and then the pilot is the last guy left. But as the pilot's about to send the money, he sends the money down the wire. But right as he's doing that, he gets shot.
Oh yeah, because that dude's still alive. Yeah.
Yeah, one of the cops is still alive, and he's like, "Ah, fuck you!" And he's just shooting at everything. He shooting at everyone, and like somehow like the wire. Oh yeah, it blows up.
Yes.
And then because they had set C4 on the plane, I forgot that. So the plane blows up, and then you've got the money in these 3 cases hanging from this wire, and then somehow it I don't know, it breaks and falls off. I don't know.
Yeah, snaps, falls
money,
off.
There's money in the mountains.
Yes. Oh my god! And John Lithgow.
So and they crash their plane.
Yes.
Yeah.
God, I cannot stand his voice in this movie.
He was great.
I couldn't figure out what his accent was because to me it changed a couple times, and I couldn't tell where he was from at all. Like what
I was supposed to be like really, really arrogant British accent.
Yeah.
So John Lithgow he's like the maniac bad guy, their ringleader.
Yeah.
They crash the plane. He's on it with his other people and his crew, and so basically now they're trying to get this money. But yeah, I love John Lithgow in this movie. He's like almost everything he says is a one-liner. Or if you notice that, it's like, and I have some of those here. Some of his character, the character name was Eric Quaylen. Like right when the plane's, like when their jet is about to crash, he's like, "Don't bother to buckle up. You may not want to survive this." He's got this like way of talking. Like, here's another one. Kill a few people, they call you a murderer.
Yes.
Kill a million, and you're a conqueror.
Yes.
Like he'll just throw out shit like that.
Yes.
Just because. Travers is the cop, the crooked cop guy. He's like, "Get off my back, Quaylen." He's like, "Off? I haven't even got on it yet." So I think he's one of the most fun parts about this movie. I think John Lithgow plays a great, crazy, stupid villain.
Yeah. Oh my god. Yeah. So they crash. Like, did you enjoy the miniature crash?
Yeah. Yeah, it's fun. I love miniatures.
Yeah,
I love that shit.
I miss that. Nobody does it anymore. But
all these fancy computers and shit. We can't just get some good. It was just like the spaceship crashing a Night Beast. Exactly the same. Remember that?
Yes.
Yeah, it's great. I love it.
Yeah. Oh,
plowing over those tiny little trees.
They don't make them like they used to. Not anymore. And one of the things that stuck with me about this movie since I was a kid too was my dad explained to me as a kid. He's like, they try to make Sylvester Stallone look taller than he is because he's actually like a smaller dude in it because they would do different angles to make him look bigger. Is what my dad would point out to me as a kid. And just seeing him hang there.
I think that they've done that in a lot of movies for Stallone. Actually, they've had to do that. Movie magic.
Yes.
Patrick, you're muted again.
What? Why? I'm not hitting a damn thing.
Yeah, I also noticed that while he's figuring that out. Yeah, I noticed that it's like they leaned him down pretty good too. Like he looked like he got leaned down a little bit. So he was still muscular, but
he had to be a rock climber. You don't have super buff rock climbers. You got kind of skinny dudes.
I mean, he was still too bulked up to be a rock climber.
Oh yeah.
But he did do some. I mean, it was definitely on indoor sets, but he was doing some of that climbing in different segments, which was kind of cool.
Yeah. What was the other thing? Oh yeah, so the money is in cases that can be tracked. Was that what it was? Because I know the dude had a machine to track it.
Yeah, the one cop had the machine to track all 3 cases, and he was the only one that had a code to unlock the
Oh yeah.
To tell you where it was at.
And it's like different codes at different times, but yet he knew what the codes were at those times to use the machine. Because he was the only the one that could read it. Because John Lithgow's like, I'll do it, and he's like, oh, here it is. Nope, and it got locked up again.
He's like 50,000 possible combinations.
Yes, I'm like, that's the most
fuck you
dumb shit ever. Every 2 minutes, put in another code that hope you get it right.
I don't know how that was supposed to work, but yeah. So they what do? They get they get on the radio and they make up a story to get a rescue. And once Stallone and Michael Rooker show up, they pull out the guns and say they're gonna help us find their fucking money, assholes. And
which I don't get why they did this, especially with the first set of money. They send Stallone up to climb up to get the money, and then as soon as he gets it, they just start shooting at him.
No, they say to each other, they're down the cliff, they're like, John Lithgow says to one of his goons, like, well, we only need one guide, so when he gets back, get rid of the extra. And then that's when Michael Rooker is like, run away, they're gonna kill you. And that's when they start shooting up the hill at him. Yeah. They're like, take his jacket so for insurance. Yeah. They were gonna kill him anyway, but so you got Stallone. Stallone now, he gets away and now he's running around sort of Die Hard style. He's trying to sneak and get ahead of where they're going because he kind of knows where they're going.
Yeah, he visually remembers where they're at. That's his spot that he knows of. Yeah. What was it? What was the girl ended up doing? Was she just going up there just to check on him or something?
Yeah, because they weren't answering. Yeah, they weren't answering the radio. So she got the helicopter guy to drop her out there as well, and she starts looking around, and she and Stallone meet up at this one like old cabin.
Yeah,
it's like the only shelter anywhere.
Yeah, after climbing so high with no roads or walkways to it. I thought that.
And he gets he gets like a museum piece of a sweater or whatever.
Yes, that will protect you in that cold. It will keep you warm.
This is some old miner like sweater.
Yeah.
No, this will keep me warm. So yeah, and it's just like the movie's sort of the cat and mouse game. It's got a lot. There's a lot going on. Like it goes through a lot of different sequences.
Yeah,
which I really liked it. Like it felt like, I mean, it was an hour and 50 minutes.
Yeah,
it definitely felt like, there's a lot of weight. There's like a lot of things happening through the whole thing. Different little set pieces, action pieces, things happening. He's slowly the bad guys are getting killed off. One of my favorites, and the one that, so I was reading on IMDb, apparently there was a version originally that was 20 minutes longer.
What?
And it was like way more violent, and they had to cut all of that shit out to get an R rating.
Where is that?
Version. Yeah, and it said something like, it's rumored to be floating around out there, but I doubt it. But yeah, there was that one scene where Stallone's fighting one of the guys in this cave. Mm-hmm. Because up until now, like, there's been violence, but it's not really gory. It's just people being shot.
Yeah.
And not really in an explicit way. But he's fighting this guy, and there's like...
what you're about to talk... The stalagmites?
Yeah, and he's getting the shit kicked out of him, too. It's like they wanted to make sure you knew, like, Stallone is not... He's just a climber. He's not really... he's not a badass fighter in this. Yeah. So he's just getting the shit beat out of him. And then there's just this one part where the guy is like kind of up above him, and he like he grabs him and then like shoves him up onto the stalagmite, and it like comes out of his chest. I was like, holy shit.
Yeah.
And when I saw it, I remembered, I was like, yeah, that was like some gory shit out of nowhere. It's pretty cool. Yeah. I like that.
Oh, man. Yeah. What do you think of the two stoner kids that just like to climb mountains and fly off the cliffs?
I love that because it was such a '90s fucking thing.
Yeah.
Them talking about like, what would you rather be home watching MTV on the couch or in this like lame ass tent, man? Like,
Yeah.
like I love that shit. It's just like that that character doesn't really exist anymore.
Yeah.
It's just a thing from that time period. In that place, really, California is that kind of character.
Yeah. I did feel bad when one of the kids died, though. Just died for no reason.
Yeah. Just for being seen, because John Lithgow, it's such a funny. It's one of those like, and you see this a lot more in these kind of '90s action movies.
Mhm.
How the villains are just complete homicidal maniacs.
Oh yeah, especially when he
Like Demolition Man. Yeah, Demolition Man is the same way. Like Simon Phoenix is a complete madman, and in this one, John Lithgow, very different character, but he's just a complete psychopath.
Right.
I think you were about to bring up.
Oh, when he killed his girlfriend.
Yeah.
What was it?
Do you remember what he said?
What was it? Something about being the ultimate sacrifice for love, or something like that.
He's like something about like there's one thing about there's like only one thing for true love. Oh, here it is.
Yeah.
Do you know what real love is, Crystal? She's like, no. He whispers in her ear, sacrifice. Yeah. And then he shoots her in the back. He's hugging her and shoots her in the back.
Why? Oh yeah, it was because John Lithgow and the girlfriend knew how to fly helicopters.
So they were the only two.
Yeah.
And he wanted the bald guy because the bald guy had gotten a gun.
Yeah. And
he's like, he kind of turned the tables on him, so that's when he shot her. So like, he's like, well, now I'm the only way to get out of here. And then he just kicks up his feet in the helicopter and was like, go get the fucking money. I'm gonna wait.
Oh yeah, and then Sylvester Stallone.
Great character.
Yeah, Sylvester Stallone burning all the money for warmth. They're like, there's no way. There's no way you would burn $30 million. I did. But...
I burn it.
Oh man.
Yeah. I like this movie a lot. Even though it is pretty long, I think it hits a pace that there's always interesting shit happening and it's going from one thing to another.
Yeah.
It's like it seems like a lot of action movies, like Kickboxer is an example where it's basically leading up to one thing, right? Mm-hmm. Kickboxer is just leading up to that one big fight.
Yeah.
And it still ended up being good. It's not to say that the stuff before that wasn't good, but this one it's like it's got so many different little pieces into it. Like you got the bridge scene with the explosion, and you've got like the caves, this fight in the cave, and then you got Stallone fighting the bald guy in the falling down into the water, and he's like, he's trying to get out of the ice.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot.
He shoots him with his little like, I forget what he called it. It like hammers in like.
It's like
what do they call it when you're?
When you're rock climbing, you can use that to shoot. It's kind of like a nail gun, but it's
it drills into the rock.
Yeah.
So he shoots him with that. I think is what he used. Because I never saw Stallone get a gun at any point.
I think he used that. That's what it was.
Yeah.
No, I think he grabbed a gun from the dude that he killed in the cave.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I think he used that.
Maybe that's more. Yeah. Okay. But yeah, so there's a lot of cool action scenes going throughout, and it does reminds me of sort of a mix between a little bit of Rambo, but more like a little bit of Die Hard.
Yeah.
But out in the snow the whole time. It's just everybody's cold in the snow.
Yeah.
So yeah, I had a lot of fun with this movie. You wanna give final thoughts and go to some scores?
Sure. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely one of those movies, I think. If you're getting into like the 90s kind of action movies, this is one of them that needs to be on the list to watch for sure. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm going to give it a 5 just because it's awesome. It's an awesome action movie. Get on it. And it's Sylvester Stallone, like back in the day, too, which is one of my favorites for sure.
Yeah, the Italian Stallion.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody does it quite like
Yeah.
Stallone.
Honestly, I couldn't get into the Rocky movies, but like these I get into much better. Like
yeah, I'm the same way.
Yeah.
I think I've seen part of a few of the Rocky movies, and I never really. I maybe should try to go back and at least watch the first one because it's, it's kind of held up as still a great movie.
Oh yeah.
But I've seen parts of a bunch of them, but to me, Stallone, it's all about his action movies, like his serious action movies. Actually, you know what? Another good Stallone movie later on is Copland. You ever seen Copland?
I don't know if I have that one. I think I got it in a Stallone set or something.
So that's pretty cool. He's an older, like he put on a lot of weight for it. So he's an old, fat, like sheriff that is deaf as well. Like he's deaf in one ear, he can barely hear.
Is this recently?
It's from like maybe 15 years ago. Maybe,
wow. Okay. All right.
Yeah. So it's he's older, but it's like it's him. It's more of a hardcore like drama kind of thriller where he's like fighting corrupt cops.
Yeah.
So he's like a small town guy, and he ends up fighting these like I think like New Jersey corrupt cops. It's really good.
Nice.
But definitely more of a serious one of his more serious movies. But anyway, yeah, for me, Cliffhanger. I think I would give Cliffhanger a 5 as well.
Mm-hmm.
It's got great. I mean, it's got great sets. Like, I mean, not set. I mean, most of it's actually they're actually filming out in the wilderness, wherever the fuck they're at.
Yeah.
And they did some good stuff. Like when you see Stallone climbing up this rock, you can tell it's green screen below, but he's actually on this rock. He's doing some climbing. And I saw it actually did get nominated for like best like special effects.
Yeah.
For the Grammys, whatever the big one is, the Grammys.
Oscars?
He didn't win. It was nominated. Yeah, Oscars.
Okay.
That's the one I'm thinking. Grammys is music. Right?
Yeah,
Oscars. He got nominated. He got a couple nominations for the Oscars. It didn't win, but it looks awesome. And I mean, the John Lithgow as this ridiculous ridiculous villain.
He was the victim. He never got the money that he deserved, and he got murdered.
He did. Yeah, the great one-liner. There, he's like hanging from the. He had a fucking helicopter hanging from a ladder that's hanging from the side of the mountain, and then he like kicks him into it and is like, keep your arms and legs inside at all times.
Yes.
Yeah. And then the helicopter plummets down and John Lithgow dies. He is a victim.
Yeah.
He's a villain and a victim. So yeah, I give it a 5 as well. It's a lot of fun. Like we've talked about with these older action movies, they just don't make them this way anymore. Mm-hmm. So if you're maybe you're a younger person and you want to venture into this strange new world of 80s, 90s action movies, this is one you ought to see.
Yeah. Well, I wonder how Brian feels about Cliffhanger. Feels like it's been some time.
Yeah, if only we could hear from him.
Yep.
I don't know. He's so busy. He's so busy.
So busy. Oh well.
Busiest man in the business.
I know.
Movie watching business.
It's tough. It's rough.
It's a rough world out there.
Yeah.
Right. We should talk about Over the Top again.
Yeah.
And then
yeah, I think we should do Over the Top for the next one then.
I'd say, yeah, okay, here's the deal. If Brian, you better watch this video. If you miss one more week, we're gonna fucking watch Over the Top.
Yes, we are gonna do. Yes, it is done. We will watch Over the Top if you miss next
week. There it
week.
is. There's our threat.
All right, that's how we end it, huh?
Yeah.
Oh shit!